Moving on now to San Jose. They're a good football team, good offense. They scored a bunch of points on Saturday. Quarterback's good, receivers are good. Across the board, running back is very talented. So it's first road trip of the year for us, and a lot of our guys that will be going on that trip have never been on a Division I road trip, so it'll be a learning experience for them. But we've got to handle it, and the key is the rivalry hangover, I guess you could say, has been a factor for us. In the first 3 years of the Pac-12, 11, 12, and 13, win the rivalry game and lose the very next week. And so we've got to avoid that this year. And I think it was, not sure the exact order, but I think it was Arizona State, UCLA, then Washington. Those three teams for sure. I can't remember the order. But the bottom line is, when we played the rivalry game early in the season, which we started doing back then, it had a negative impact on the next game, and that's our challenge this week, is not to let that happen. That's a point of emphasis this week. That's not an easy feat to win a game turning it over 6 times, and so I think, like I said earlier, our resiliency. We got a lot of talented players. That certainly plays into it. We had a talent to overcome 6 takeaways or 6 turnovers, and. But you don't want to make a habit of it, because, like you said, I think you're right. It was Maryland, I believe, 2 years ago, that in 2014 was the last team to be able to do that, and it's very few and far between that you get that done. We got to do a better job of taking care of the football, and credit them for taking the ball away. But we had sloppy ball security, and that's on us as much as anything else. And so that's got to be job one, just like it is every week. Well, it's on the docket for the next 4 years, I believe. I think it's under contract for 4 more years, and so I'm just worried about this season, and so I can't really give you a great answer. I just know we take it game by game, and they're on the schedule next year, so we'll worry about that when the time comes. But I think the landscape of college football is going to continue to change, and that may dictate more than anything else the future of the rivalry. Those are 3 tough Pac-12 games. Those 3 very good football teams that we faced. Not that, in San Jose, like I said, they're very good as well. But we've got to get that corrected, because it can't keep happening. I thought the defense played very well. Offense moved the ball. It's just until we. Until we're moving the ball, until we hit those road bumps, the turnovers, and we only punted 3 times. And and so that's got to get we got to get that addressed. And the red zone efficiency is not anywhere near good enough offensively. If you had to say our 2 main Achilles heels right now, it's taking care of the football, at least in that last game, and then for the first 2 games, we got to be more efficient in the red zone. Well, just making sure we make good decisions, and not try to try to make a play when there's not one there to be made. That's an adage that a quarterback has to subscribe to and to follow, that if there's nothing there, sometimes there's nothing there, and you just got to live to play the next down, or live to be able to kick a field goal, or whatever the situation may dictate. But that's key, is to just let the game come to you, not try to force it, and not try to make a play when it's just not there. Zach Moss, first of all, it'll be a competition this week in practice. Nothing is set in stone. The depth chart is just a projection. If you have a week of practice, there's a lot that can change. Not that there's a lot that usually changes, but nothing has been completely determined. But Zach came in and gave us a spark. I think that was very evident when he came in and ran the ball, and he deserves to get at least the opportunity to vie for that starting job this week. And he was out for a considerable period of time, not been able to practice. He had an injury that was bothering him, so he's still not in great shape, and he's still not where his potential is not been reached yet. And so he's going to continue to get better. And like I said, based on his performance Saturday, he deserves a chance to be the guy. I wouldn't say he's outperformed because we expected him to be a very good player for us, very active. He's got great quickness. He's tough. He's not the biggest guy. You know, he's a 6-footer and about 225 pounds, but he's very instinctive, very active, and he plays fast. I mean, he's got a very quick twitch individual, and it's great to see him get that award. And you know, ironically enough, he wasn't the player of the week in our own system. Reggie Porter played his best game as a Ute. He was phenomenal from start to finish, and gave up one throw. But he was the player of the week in our own in-house system. But it's great to see Sunia get that award. That's 2 weeks in a row now we've had a player in the Pac-12 Player of the Week category. You know, special teams last week and defense this week. A great deal of improvement in that offensive line. Much more physicality that we were looking for. We used that term all week last week, and they performed much better. And that 19-play drive in the fourth quarter, that was a thing of beauty. I mean, that's when you get in a situation like that and you got a lead and you're in the fourth quarter, you got to run to win, and that's what we did in that situation. I think 16 of those 19 plays were runs, something like that, of that 19-play drive, and that was exactly what we need to be. And not that we're going to just hand the ball off over and over and over, but when we need to run and we need to be physical, we've got to be able to do that, and we did that Saturday night.